All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel. Say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man and TV and Log, and let's get started. I just realized Powdered Toast Man is not even there. Look, he's laying down back here. What in the world? Come on, dude. All right, we'll put him back up here. Wow, okay, now say hi. Well, now I'm cutting his head off. Hold on. There we go. All right, now let's get started. So this is a knife from Civivi, and the Apex Pass Around group comes by way of David from Blade Banter, from Seth at Civivi. This is the Civivi Kepler fixed blade. Really digging this one. Guys, I was hoping to have time to take this one out in the yard and do some hacking, but A, it's a pass around knife, so I don't want to beat it up, and B, since I got back from being out of town working, I just have not had time. As a matter of fact, I still want to take my nephew's K-bar out in the woods and work with it, and I need to get it back to him. If you're watching, nephew, I am very sorry. I just haven't had time. So we're just going to suffice with showing you guys some kitchen cutting footage with this one. That'll come up towards the end of the review. We'll have a couple of different things being cut. I think onions and some kielbasa sausage. I don't know how you say that, guys. Kielbasa, whatever it is. Que pasa, mi amigo. Something. So this is the Kepler. Okay, so it comes with this sheath, which at first I thought was Kydex. I'm not sure. Let's see if it says over here. Yeah, it is Kydex. Okay. I just wasn't positive if it was plastic or Kydex. Has this really cool belt clip that clips in like so. Very nicely done. I did carry this a couple of days. Not a lot because I haven't been home very much. I just haven't had time. It is oh, by the way, the retention, I almost forgot to talk about that. The retention is wonderful. There is no shaking. Really tight, pops off real easy with your thumb. Really, you can hear that. Listen, just nice. You do have different attachment points, which is great. And it has a wonderful looking profile. I know some people said they didn't care for it. I really dig this. I like how my finger goes into this choil, and man, it's just comfortable, guys. It's kind of a squared off handle, but it's rounded as well. Does that make any sense? It feels kind of taller and squarish, but because you can lock in here, and because these are rounded off, even though the tang overlaps ever so slightly, everything is rounded off and chamfered well. So it just fits my hand wonderfully. You do have this lanyard. You know, guys, if I bought this lanyard would come off. Some of you probably dig it. If it was a shorter handle, I might. This handle is plenty big enough. I do not need a lanyard. It's just kind of in my way, to be very honest with you. But I know. Some of you like them. The jimping is a little aggressive back here, but I don't mind it. It didn't really bother me. I love the swedging, and I love this incredible looking blade. It got to me with a little bit of scratching there. I don't know exactly what that story is. Maybe from coming in and out of the sheath. I don't know. From where it is, that makes me wonder, because that would be a tight spot going into the sheath. So I don't know. Really interesting. It does have, there you go. It does have this logo here, which I think, it's from Torby. I'm not going to pronounce his first name, but it's Torbe is his last name. He's the designer of this knife. So it's Torby Knives, Civivi, and that's pretty much every bit of the billboarding on this knife. Really beautiful satin finish, and this wonderful looking G10 on the handle. I don't know how they do that, but it's super cool. I like the attachment points here for the handle scales, really nice. And I was afraid these were going to be kind of slick, and they're not. They kind of look slick. They kind of, when you first touch them, feel slick, but you're not going anywhere on this, guys, and it is grippy. I mean, you can hear that. Very nice. It's not overly grippy. It feels smooth to the touch, but you're not going anywhere. Very nice. Let's talk about some specs. Get the nice sheet of paper here from Civivi. So this one is 9.93, almost 10 inches overall. The blade is 4.48, so just 4.5. just under 5, obviously. Handle length 5.22, plenty of room for my big mitts here. Not as big as some people's, but you know what I mean. Nice, plenty of room, locks you in really, really nicely. It is 4 millimeters on the thickness, which for a fixed blade is really, really good and thin and slicey. It does cut well, as you'll see here in a minute. 9CR18 for the steel. It is between 58 and 60 on the HRC. Flat grind, satin finish. The screws are stainless. The clip is called a T-clip. And really, really, really dig that. Like it. The lanyard is black tied paracord. And guys, this retails, and again, I'm always going to tell you about White Mountain Knives if they have it. Let me make sure it's in stock before I say that. It is. They have it at $85 currently at White Mountain Knives, which, you know, for this big chunk of steel is pretty good. Now, I didn't talk about weight. Where is weight? It is 7.32, guys, but for the size, it's light. It feels light in your hand. It's balanced. It feels really good. It's got this great cutting motion here because of that awesome shape. Just really, really dig it. Now, let's go ahead and let's cut away to some onion cutting and some kielbasa cutting, and then we'll come back and close this out. All right, so here we are with the Civivi Kepler. I've heard a lot of guys say it looked like a good kitchen knife. Yeah, I just washed it off. Sorry, it's wet. But by the way, the wet proved to me that it is way grippier than I thought it was. So we're just going to cut this onion up real quick here and just see how it does. I may cut a little bit more, and we'll go from there. Let me get this onion peel off here. Yeah, I should have my wife do the cutting. She's much better at this stuff than me, but that's okay. Right, dear? Sure, that's all I get. Sure. All right, making a complete mess. All right, so here we go. We'll chop this guy up. So it seems like very clean cuts. These are not forced cuts at all. It's just gliding right down through it. Not a problem whatsoever. Do it this way. So the shape is also good for the chopping motion. If I cut my fingers off, it'll be on recording here, so that'll be good. All right, and then we'll turn this around and do kind of chop it up here a little bit to get it in smaller pieces. So yeah, I mean, there is no forcing here. This is a nice, this is doing nice clean cuts very, very easily. You can feel that it's got this nice utility tip as well. If you want to get down in there and do that. Now, I did take it outside and chop a couple of small limbs and actually chopped into a walnut that had just, like a green walnut that had just fallen out of a tree, just to kind of see, because it's not heavy, but it definitely feels capable. So it really, really did a good job with that. But because it's a pass around knife, I didn't get really crazy with it. So there you go with the onion. I'll be back with one more thing in a moment. All right, so here's some kielbasa or whatever you want to call it. We just call it sausage. I don't know. So we're going to cut that up and see how this does. Now, again, this is a firm sausage, so it's a good test. So it is, there we go. That's the right motion. So it was the motion I was using, felt a little bit like it was forcing through there, but now it's slicing really well. You just got to actually get back here, and the cutting board is moving everywhere. I'm not going to do this whole thing on camera because that will be boring to sit here and watch me cut sausage for 20 minutes, or not quite that long. But yes, this is a very capable knife. I could see this being great for a camp knife. Would be really, really good as a camp knife for sure. And so there you go. The Civivi Kepler. I still think it would still be very good for firewood prep, for feather sticking. It is light enough where I think you can get in and definitely do that kind of thing. So there you go, the Civivi Kepler. And back to me for final conclusions on the knife. All right, so I hope you like that. Again, it feels like at 4 millimeters it should be a little more slicey. It is sharp, but it has been around to 5 different reviewers before me. It could use a touch up, but I don't typically do that with a pass around knife. I think the thickness is wonderful. I think it's going to be good and slicey. Again, I just think it needs a little bit of a touch up, and you could kind of see that in some of my cuts. But when you go like this, it just cuts really, really well. So there it is, guys. My little mini review. Again, I didn't get to go out in the woods of the Civivi Kepler. Thank you, Civivi, for sending this on. It's going to go now. Look at that. Zach's over here. Going to go off to Tier 1 for him. And very excited to send this his way, guys. Thanks so much. Oh, I didn't even show this. It does come with the Civivi box. You know, nothing super fancy. You do get the cloth and a little cardboard slip that the knife goes on when it's in the box, and black G10 9CR18 satin finish. So there you go. Thanks so much, David, and the Apex group for sending this along. And guys, thank you so much for being subscribed. Give me a comment down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, and thank you for your support. And thanks for watching the KnivesFAST channel.